Dogs seem to love cars for a number of reasons. The fresh air,
Frank!
the companionship, and the unending sense of adventure.
He loves it.
But that sense of adventure can sometimes go too far. It's rush hour near Golden, Colorado. A man is driving eastbound on I-70 when his dash cam captures a large dog sticking its head out of an SUV's window. Seconds later, a small white dog does the same. Then, it does the unthinkable. The dog leaps from the window and rolls several times before ending up directly in front of the driver's car. He appears hurt and is on the edge of the high-speed lane. When,
Oh my God!
safe again, in the arms of his owner. But the witness, understandably shaken up, calls his wife moments later.
The guy in the left lane, just in front of me, his little dog fell right out of the car, right in front of me. These little dogs, they stick their head out the window and then pretty soon they fall out. Man, I'm keeping our dog's windows rolled up.
Good advice for dog owners everywhere.
Oh my God!
On a California freeway, a motorist records a semi dragging a red car that is wedged under its trailer.
Look at that. That's on the freeway going up the Cajon Pass. I don't know what's going on here.
Making the situation even more dire,
Oh my God.
the driver's life is clearly in danger. So the man filming, along with several other motorists, join forces to flag down the semi-driver.
The hell?
Which they finally do.
Wow. He drugged the guy. Why were you driving so far?
Far?
Dude, the guy's in your car.
I didn't throw it!
What do you need to know it, dude? He's on your truck. You need to get out of your truck right now. He's literally on your truck.
According to police reports, the incident occurred when the 62-year-old trucker failed to see the red car when he changed lanes and had no idea he had hit it. He is eventually cleared of any wrongdoing. The driver of the red car sustains no injuries. Lesson learned, hopefully for both parties. When big rigs and cars are sharing the road, keep your eyes on the blind spots. On a New York City interstate, a trucker's dash cam records as traffic slows to a crawl, and some drivers begin using the breakdown lane to try to get ahead. When the trucker spots a white SUV attempting to do the same, he tries to block its way, to no avail. Despite the near miss, both vehicles press on. But once past police, the SUV driver appears to retaliate for the attempted block by what seems like brake checking and slowing the truck's progress. Not wanting to engage, the trucker moves into another lane. But the SUV driver refuses to let it go. No matter which way the truck goes, the SUV driver stays the course. The trucker then attempts to pass the car on the left. And that's when the SUV driver makes a very dangerous and very foolish decision. As the driver attempts to pull in front of the trucker once again, they cut it too close and are clipped by the truck, sending them spinning sideways and into the guardrail. The driver of the truck pulls over and waits for authorities to arrive. No word on the outcome, but the trucker has more than enough evidence to help his side of the story. As for the alleged brake checker, they do well to remember that road rage is always a bad idea, especially when raging at a vehicle much, much bigger than yours. In High Point, North Carolina, a truck's dash cam captures vehicles crossing train tracks that appear to be safe, now that a southbound train has just passed by. When suddenly, the gate comes down again, trapping the truck with a dash cam and a blue car on the tracks as a northbound train approaches. The car's driver gets out in a panic. The train is just seconds away, so she runs for cover, while the truck driver puts it into reverse, pushing through the gates behind them. The northbound train demolishes the woman's car. The driver of the car flees the scene, but 2 days later, she turns herself into police and is charged with having no operator's license and cited for a railroad crossing violation. So at a train crossing, remember, waiting for all the signals to be clear is well worth the extra time. At a parking lot in California, a coveted parking space is being occupied by a person, which is against the law in California.
We're at a standoff.
According to the man filming, this woman is holding the spot for her boyfriend, who is apparently on his way to the parking lot. And she refuses to move until he arrives, despite the growing line of cars and unsympathetic spectators.
You're in the wrong. Yeah, you are.
I go park my car like everybody else.
I'm over there. Let him park. Let him park.
With the pressure mounting and a much less patient driver now being held up by the stalemate, the spot blocker makes a surprising offer. But she still isn't moving. And as another pedestrian steps in to help manage the traffic jam, the impatient driver resorts to threats. Then, finally, the parking spot hijacker releases her hostage.
Justice is served.
A lesson hopefully learned. Parking spots are just like car washes and drive-thrus. If you're not in a car, they're not there for you. Drivers beware. Sometimes, despite one's best efforts, irrational road rage can seemingly come out of nowhere and wreak havoc, as it did on this day in Austin, Texas. According to the driver of the car with the dash cam, a black sedan swerved dangerously into his lane moments ago and is now back and doing it again. The driver with the dash cam pulls away, and heads onto a toll road in hopes of losing the erratic driver, even reaching speeds of close to 100 miles per hour. But the driver of the black car manages to catch up and then takes the bizarre behavior to a whole new level by brandishing an axe. Things take an even more unpredictable and dangerous turn when the axe-wielding driver pulls ahead. The Rager slams into the back of an unsuspecting vehicle, which sends it careening off the highway and flipping into a ditch. The black car flees the scene of the accident. The driver with the dash cam pulls over to help the crash victim, who he says walks away with relatively minor injuries. According to the driver, the police find the black car abandoned in an auto shop parking lot a few miles down the road, and the axe-wielding driver close by. He is arrested and charged with the failure to stop and render aid. When competing with others for limited parking, be careful of who you offend. Their wrath could have very serious consequences. At a clinic in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, the cameras on Amanda Aubin's car record as she searches for a spot in the very crowded parking lot. After minutes of circling, Amanda finally sees a spot open up and starts to pull in. Just as another driver in a red car seems prepared to do the same.
I approached the spot that I was going to pull into when I saw a car backing out of it. Now, I didn't see the other person waiting. At the time, I assumed maybe we just pulled up at the same time. But since I was on the right side, I went ahead and pulled into that spot.
But the other driver pulls in behind Amanda and waits.
I thought it was pretty weird that she just pulled up directly behind me, but I tried not to think too much behind it. I did watch her through the camera in the back of my car just to see what was up.
The other driver gets out and seems to complain to someone else about having lost the spot.
I noticed when she was talking to that person, her fist was clenched pretty tightly, and you could tell she was pretty tense and probably upset.
But the driver finally gets back into her car, backs up, and pulls into another spot.
At that point, I figured, okay, everything is cool because we were both parked, and then she walked in to her appointment. So I just proceeded to do the check-in procedure for my doctor's office while in my car.
Amanda finishes her check-in and then heads into her appointment. Altercation apparently avoided. But when Amanda returns to her car later, something is very, very wrong.
It was very obvious that my driver's side door and driver's side passenger door was very damaged. I was pretty upset.
So Amanda reviews the footage from her car's cameras and is stunned. While Amanda is at her appointment, the other driver returns, and she's clearly not quite over losing that initial parking space. The woman drags her keys across the side of Amanda's car, leaving a serious mark. She then returns moments later to key some more.
Not only once, but twice on the doors. It seemed like she's done this before.
Amanda brings the video to the police, and the keyer gets her just desserts.
We did get a copy of the police report, and she was arrested and charged. And I was recently paid retribution as well.
The woman is charged with simple criminal damage to property, and she must pay retribution in the amount of $1,500, which certainly helped ease Amanda's bad feelings about the whole incident.
In the end, my car was fixed. Nobody was hurt. I'm glad she was caught, and hopefully she learned a valuable lesson, especially being blasted on news sites and TV. I mean, she got what she deserved. So in the end, I'm not even mad anymore. It's done.
According to the FHA, 75% of weather-related vehicle accidents occur on wet pavement, and many of them are due to hydroplaning, a phenomenon that happens when your car's tires actually lose contact with the wet road and begin sliding on a thin layer of water, making it nearly impossible to control. And unfortunately, it doesn't take much water for it to happen. A driver in an SUV approaches an exit just after a light rainfall. Even though there are obvious puddles on the shoulder, the lane itself appears clear, but there seems to be just enough water to affect the vehicle's traction, causing it to spin off into the grass. And finally, land on its side. Amazingly, the driver seems relatively unharmed and takes a minute to collect himself as bystanders who witnessed the crash approach to check on him.
Yep, I'm all right. Just gotta figure out how to get out now.
All things considered, it could have been much worse. And it serves as a great reminder to keep your tires well maintained and always proceed with extra caution when driving in any kind of wet conditions.